All right, let's go out down the street to Knoxville, Tennessee, and let's talk to Mary. Why you but? What's up, Mary?
Hello, John. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Outstanding.
I appreciate you taking my call and seeing what we can do about this.
All right, let's do it. What's up?
Okay, so I am engaged to a man. This is both of our second marriages. We're early 50s, prior marriages of 20 plus years, and all that. We've been together over 2 years, engaged for about a year of that. In the beginning of our relationship, he was very open with me about why his prior marriage ended. And that was because he was in a very toxic relationship that had been, in order to cope with that, was using escort services for probably 5 to 10 years or so. And this was all done very covertly. His ex knew nothing about it until one day she discovered a piece of mail about a declination of a credit application that he was trying to get additional credit in his name. Well, he had an apartment with this person, with this escort that he was seeing very regularly, almost in a relationship type of situation. And so this was discovered, his divorce ensued, and, they tried to go through counseling, and, we can only believe so much about what people tell us about their past, but he did show me the divorce papers and confirmed that this is a legitimate story. And so I was very grateful to get, have him come clean, and I'm certainly not perfect either with my prior marriage, not in that sense of the meaning, but, in other things where I recognize where I had failures as well. So moving forward, we've had great chemistry. There's like zero drama. Like, it's so refreshing to have zero drama with somebody. And so, in the last, we had some financial difficulties this early spring. He lost his job, and was, able to get by. I didn't have to cover him or anything, but it was, he's a very proud man in terms of wanting to be a good provider. And so that put some stress on him. And I felt like something was off. And so I did confront him, and I felt like it's more than just the finances, what's going on. And he admitted that, and he showed me his phone and his email where these escort service ads started to roll into his inbox again in April. I confronted him about it. He was very open with it. He's never hidden his phone from me. I don't routinely look at stuff because it's just not in my nature. I'd rather just trust and deal with whatever happens. I don't feel like a grown man needs a babysitter, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
So I just really disappointed. I knew from the beginning that it would be a risk. I don't believe that he has actually taken action on that, but the fact that it's rolling in his inbox is still...
I do.
It's very risky behavior.
Yeah, I do.
To not fall back into that pattern of a coping mechanism.
Well, like, Mary, these things, I've got multiple email addresses for different things. Mm-hmm. Not one time has an escort service. One of those
covert ones.
Well, not one time has an escort service just rolled into my inbox.
I know.
That's not how that works. So,
right, and so I didn't believe the story that it was just said, I have this account open that I didn't realize was still open.
That's bullcrap.
So I went and logged into that account, and he absolutely knew it was open.
Of course he did. So I don't buy that he's not, for lack of better words, that he's not using again.
Right, I don't either.
The challenge here is, the reason this is escalated risk, if you will, is, and hear me parse this out. This isn't a moral parsing or a characterological parsing or even me trying to get cute. This is me just talking about safety. There is somebody who's married who has a one-night fling after an office party with an office coworker. There's that, right? There is somebody who meets somebody at work or meets somebody at the park where their kids play, and they develop a long-term emotional affair. There is long-term sexual affairs with people when they're married. All that stuff happens.
But an escort is a physical, biological risk to me.
That an escort, using escort services, in my opinion, is a whole other layer, because you're not just the illusion when you have a one night stand, or the illusion that when you have an affair, is you are just this is just between me and that person. Now, that's a stupid thing to say, because you're going to crush somebody emotionally. You might put them at risk. And when I say risk, I'm talking about STI risk. I'm talking about all kinds of risks out of the way. This is different. This is putting the very bed you lay in significant risk. And this is one of the few moments when I would throw my hands up and step way, 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 way back.
That's why I wrote you, because I know it. It's it's not even about trusting so much, because I've never known a man not to cheat. It started with my father.
I
He
don't.
was married 4 or 5 times.
I don't, and I'm not a great guy.
And
I'm not perfect. Just know they're out there.
And
Statistically speaking, there's more of them than those that do. It's you deciding I'm not.
My picker's broken, I guess.
Well, we marry our unfinished business, right?
Right.
So my guess is you're gonna make sure that you are able to fix that, and you can't fix that, because most of the time affairs have nothing to do with the partner. Sometimes they do, but they have to do with somebody going out and feeling alive again, or somebody trying to cover up shame, right?
Well, it's the shame thing, because if I know that he has financial difficulties, the anonymity in that world
makes him feel like a man again.
The escort doesn't care.
It makes him feel like a man again.
And there's no work that has to be done.
That's right. It's cheap dime store.
It's lazy
masculinity. That's right. It's bullcrap. It's fake. But all that to say is, he has chosen by his behavior to put your actual physical health in significant danger. Period.
Yeah, because there's some things you can't.
That's right.
Get an antibiotic for.
So if I'm you, like let's just pretend you're my sister, okay, or you're one of my close friends who's a woman. I would say, step number 1 is I'd go get tested. That'd be step number 1, and that's for me and my health. Step number 2 is I'd probably go sit down with a counselor, because you've been through this before, and this is going to have some significant weight to it. And the way you couched your previous marriage, that you weren't perfect and you did some things, just the way you said that tells me that you were probably in an abusive relationship, and you have mined the depths of yourself to figure out what you did to cause some of that. Fair?
True. Well, I also responded in a toxic way. I didn't.
Yeah, you made dumb choices on the back end. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, it's not fine. You know what I mean, right? It happens. But, and by the way, this guy in his previous marriage, I don't care how toxic it gets, he made a choice.
Right.
To endanger everybody. So he wasn't forced into this. He didn't. His bad marriage didn't cause this.
Right, and he continues to deflect and blame her for.
Nope. Well, she may have been the worst person in the world. Great. He gets to wake up every day and decide, am I going to be a person of integrity and character? Even if that means I'm going to be a person of character and integrity as I end my marriage, because it's unsafe. Fine.
Yes, but I didn't do that too, so I'm also guilty of not doing that.
That's you've chosen the shame route. You put that in your backpack, and you're choosing to carry it around as an I am statement, instead of that's something I did and that will never happen again. Right?
That's fair.
Stop carrying that around. You did that. It happened, and there's a period. And then you get to do something different this time.
And this is why part of my question to you is just give up and get a dog, because I cannot seem to be attracted to somebody that doesn't do this.
I think it's time, probably for the first time ever, that you go see a true trauma therapist and say, I need this. I need to heal my body from the inside out. And that journey.
I have been through some trauma therapy, but it was for the prior relationship that apparently I still have work to do.
I think you got it. Yeah. There's a difference between trauma therapy that allows you to breathe post significant trauma. But in this situation, you're going back and you have a little girl in there that's still asking daddy why he kept running around and why he didn't show up. And that's the stuff you got to deal with. And my guess is, don't answer this question, but my guess is Mary's life as a little girl, as a young teenager, was really tough. Real tough. And so that's what we got to go sit down, because your body's going to continue to antenna and direct you towards these toxic relationships until you can completely unhook from this need to go solve. And instead, connect to anchor into the truth that is, I'm Mary and I'm worth being loved. And I'm worth not being cheated on. Not all men are cheaters. I'm worth, I don't know, any number of things. I'm worth all of it. I'm especially worth more than this. I'm going to end this the same way I always do. I'm not going to tell you to end your relationship. That's on you. I don't want you saying this podcaster said I had to do that. But I want to tell you that as you've laid it out, you're not safe physically or emotionally. And it's time to take some action to first protect yourself, second, heal yourself, and then to begin to ask hard questions about this relationship and relationships moving forward. Thank you so much for the call, Mary. We'll be with you. Call her anytime I can help.